Hi there, I'm Joe Tyler. Are you stressed out, wigged out, freaked out, feeling anxious, angry, or depressed? Want to know how people with real mental health problems learn to cope? Keep it right here and get the latest word from experts in the field like me, Joseph Tyler, a speaker for the cause for mental health, a state and Nevada NAMI president, as well as a peer counselor at the state hospital. Here on Erasing the Stigma, we take you, the viewer, into the brain, the old brain's biochemistry that is mental illness, and back to reality safely. Here on Erasing the Stigma, we find hope for people whose lives have become uncommonly unnatural. So stay with us for the next few minutes as we erase the stigma for people with brain disorders. Okay, you guys, we're going to sing this song, which is a way cool song that we devised for NAMI, which is on the Al Jolson song. So take it away, Kathy.
Okay.
Kathy's going to lead us.
And we're all going to do it. Okay. Everything is lovely when you start to roam. But here's what you'll be saying when you're far from home. The sun shines east, the sun shines west, but I know where the sun shines best. NAMI, my NAMI, my heartstrings are tangled around my NAMI. I'm coming, sorry that I made you wait. I'm coming, I hope I'm not too late. Oh, NAMI, my NAMI. I'll walk a million miles for one of your smiles
And one of your
peer-to-peer
classes, one of your connection support groups.
in your own voice presentation. Family to family. My NAMI. How I love you, my dear old NAMI.
Okay, so let's get on with the knowledge part of the show here. Here with us are two of the gals of NAMI, Nevada, Donna Marie Shavovitz and Kathy Ann Rusko. Both attended the National NAMI Convention in 2012. They're going to let the knowledge flow here today in my backyard, for they both have learned all about how to treat the brain, as well as how to get folks into treatment, as well as how to treat the whole person. So we might have better quality of life. We need so much in our lives. We know that brain cells, the way brain cells connect, are called connectomes, and the way they connect, those connectomes transfer information in the old noggins from the next cell, is what makes us unique individuals. How this occurs throughout our development is so important as to how we function. So you guys, all three of us are diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. And Donna went to the session on schizoaffective, asked the doctor, with Suzanne Vogel-Shabelia, and she learned, Suzanne kind of pointed out, first of all, what about the diagnosis, Donna? What makes schizoaffective diagnosis?
Well, you have to have at least one episode of mood disorder without a psychotic, and you have to have one psychotic without a mood disorder.
So you have to have one psychotic, which means psychotic features, meaning hearing things, seeing things, and the people don't have, and then you have to have a mood episode where you don't have the psychotic features.
Yeah.
So that's both. Get the best of both worlds, as you say.
Speaking of diagnosis, borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
What is
when
it?
you're in the borderline neurotic and psychotic.
So that gets in psychosis right away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now Donna.
Yeah.
You also attended.
Oh, Joe. I have some other information
about schizoaffective disorder.
Did you know that half the cigarettes smoked in the United States are smoked by mentally ill people?
And I've heard half the tobacco is smoked.
Yeah.
Well, more than half the tobacco is smoked.
And then mentally ill people die at a rate of 25 years younger than the average person.
Yeah, and that's due to what causes them?
That's due to suicide. That's due to metabolic syndrome. That's due to medication problems and stuff like that. As what's metabolic syndrome? You're wondering.
What is metabolic syndrome?
That means when you got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high lipids, blood clotting and inflammation, and all kinds of good stuff.
So you got all that stuff together, and what do you do about that?
Well, you see a primary care doctor and you work with your psychiatrist.
You got to do primary care and the psychiatrist both, then, because they got to collaborate together, right?
Yeah. And speaking of like medical stuff, they said that vitamin E, not vitamin E, I mean omega-3.
Omega-3, well,
fish oil?
I think that is vitamin E and omega-3s are the same, somewhat the same.
Yeah, because what they do is they help balance mental health and lower cholesterol. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, and they can help your heart too. They're healthy for the heart too, which is part of the problem. So what are the kinds of things, Donna, about schizoaffective disorder?
Well, I don't know if I have much more else, but I did want to mention Susan Vogel-Bashibili, the head of the thing.
Yeah.
She saved my butt when we were in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And she had to get my closet real for me. It was kind of exciting.
Because we got stuck in Washington, D.C. 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got stuck in Washington, D.C. and she's in Beaverton, Pennsylvania, and she got you your closet roll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thank her so much.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What are the kinds of things? I think we got Kathy talked about some CET. Some cognitive enhancement therapy, which we both went to the session on cognitive enhancement therapy, which goes over and above our regular treatment to try and get us back some of our social skills and stuff like that. Well, Kathy, what can you think of what you project?
Okay. Cognitive enhancement therapy is based on a program that it was developed in 2006, so it's still relatively new. But there's a number of programs going on in the country right now. I heard there were 14, and I went to we all went to the plenary talk about it, which had a whole lot of science in there, and graphs and charts and pictures. Basically, it borrows from various different traditions, but what it has been used for, has been really successful, is for people with schizophrenia and related disorders who are relatively stable, haven't been hospitalized for the last 6 months, is their criteria, have been clean and sober for 3 months, and have a plan for, some kind of treatment plan in place. And they take these folks and they put them through a really
it's intensive, I know.
It's an intensive program, and it's 48 weeks, so it's almost a year. And it's manageable too. I think the sessions are like 1 day a week, and they work with trained coaches, and they work in pairs, and they do things to make up for the kind of cognitive losses you tend to get with the disease. And they've had really good successes about people being able to go back to work, get jobs. Some people got married with people that they met in the group, and it seems to remain, the benefits seem to remain after several years, which is very good. So it's still a new project that people are really, the guy workshop I went to, the guy was really excited about it.
And you can do some of this on the computer, I think. I believe you can learn about it on the computer.
Oh, yes.
Cognitive enhancement therapy. is the buzzword.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is some stuff that you can learn about on the computer about it, I think.
Yes, but I think in order, it's the social engagement is a big
Yeah.
part of making it successful. The guy Ray Gonzalez, who's one of the people who worked from the beginning, he said the one good thing about this program is you can't hide out. You know, everybody works in pairs and they work with a coach, somebody who's been trained, and you can't just kind of hunker down and watch. You have to participate.
Yeah, it's very active stuff.
And-
It's like a support group. You can sit there and kind of
Yeah.
vegetate until they call on you.
Uh-huh.
You know,
You
whereas
can
cognitive
fund-
enhancement
fund it.
therapy,
You have to
you
work.
have to participate. Yeah.
But it's done at the pace that people can, it's like something like an hour at a time.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that people can do.
Well, how about now? Let's get back to Donna about some of the stuff that you learned about people that are hard to treat, treatment-resistant people. Donna, treatment-resistant people need to get into therapy, and we have trouble getting them in. And what kinds of things do we do with treatment-resistant people?
Well, what you do is you confront the loved one.
Because you have an uncle who's very treatment-resistant.
Yeah. So make sure that when you discuss getting the evaluation, that neither of you are intoxicated, and don't ever do it during a family argument or a special occasion, and never do it when you're doing like Facebook and email and phone. Don't do that. And when you talk to the person, ask to be taken seriously. And you can also suggest that getting an evaluation would be a good gift, a birthday gift to somebody. With what you can do is use the concept of reward and punishment for the going the evaluation. And what you do with the extroverts is you reward them, and with the introverts you take something away. These somethings that you use can be computers, access cell phone, place to live, and stuff like that. And the other thing is that they suggest that you get books and memoirs and movies and stuff and show them to the person, so it gives them a better perspective on mental illness. And I just wanted to say that some important people that could possibly do this are like clergy and clergy.
Or even somebody that you're friends with, or
sibling.
Or you said a hairdresser, or
hairdresser,
or hair cutter, or something like that. People that you associate with can talk to you about it. They can see you deteriorating and know you need help.
And the problem is with a lot of people in this situation is there's anosognosia.
And anosognosia is what for our viewing audience?
It is when the brain does not have the capability of knowing that it is sick or that something is wrong.
Yeah, because there's whole books written on anosognosia. I'm Not Sick, I Don't Need Help by Xavier Amador is a book about understanding that the brain is knocked out and the parts of it just can't understand what's going on.
Speaking of books, the speaker that we had, Mark Camrad, he wrote a book called You Need Help. It's coming out in August or September, and I think it's going to be a must-read.
What is it called again?
It's called You Need Help.
You Need Help by Comrade. What's his name again?
Mark Camrad.
Mark Comrade. You Need Help by Mark Comrade. Okay. Well, let's get Bujo on. Let's get Bujo. Give the star. Just get the star a chance. You ready to go, Big Mushy? Big Eagle. Do it and say it, Big Bird. Big Eagle. Big Eagle. Good. Do it. Big Eagle. Big Eagle. Big Eagle. Good.
Yay, bird.
Good job, guys. Big Eagle. Good. Okay, obedient one. Tell me what you say, Big Bird. Obedient one.
Come here.
Come here. He's got it down, doesn't he? Okay, and then obedient one more time. Obedient one.
Come here.
Good.
Aw.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
sing, Lucy, sing. Can you name that song for a trip to Seattle? Sleepless in Seattle is the article Donna wrote. Can you name that song for a trip to Seattle?
Sure. You always sunshine.
You got it, Donna. You got it. Sing, Lucy, sing. I didn't hear her sing again. Sing the word.
Wow.
So beautiful. You can't understand my singing my comment and cry.
That was a good one. That was a good one, Joe.
Okay, and then did you know this is a big hummingbird? Hummingbird? Did you know it's a big hummingbird? Did you know it's a big hummingbird? Hummingbird. Hummingbird. You know it's a big hummingbird?
He's real
He's got a
quiet.
little bit of hum to him, doesn't he?
He's not humming too loud.
He's a hummer.
He's a hummer though.
Okay, and then one more for Big Moosey.
He's finishing his nut, I think, or maybe he's chewing.
He's
on
chewing on his
toes.
toenail.
He's an inveterate chewer.
When I retire from state government, we're going to do rest, right, Big
Yeah.
Bird?
Hey, all right, Birdie.
And we're going to go do a show in Sacramento this week, this upcoming week, and all the way in Sacramento. Hope the Big Bird can go down there and perform his great stuff. Let's get him up with a little hanging around with Bujo.
Hanging around.
Let's go with hanging around with Bujo. What are we doing here, you guys? Hanging around with Bujo. Hanging around with Bujo. He doesn't mind this. And then watch the birdie, right, Donna? Watch the birdie. Watch the birdie. And then let's see what it is.
Oh, it's
Do
okay,
this
Big
one.
Bud.
Oh, I know what that is.
What's this?
A bird in the hands with two in the bush.
That's right, Donna. A bird in the hands were two in the bush. I don't know whether you get another trip to Seattle or you want to go to Hawaii this time.
I'll go to Texas.
Go to Texas, okay.
Not in
That's when the
summer, I
next.
hope.
That's when the next convention is in
right,
San Antonio, right?
Yeah.
Or
San
something like that.
Antonio.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what else we got here. I'm not sure what happened to my notes. I think they blew away. I think the
You
notes
want-
blew
you
away in
want-
my back here.
You want me to talk a little bit about integrated healthcare?
Yeah, talk about integrated healthcare.
Okay. Integrated healthcare is bringing the mental, physical, and care
Okay.
together. Okay. We need to treat the mind in a holistic way. We need to do emotional, physical, spiritual, psychological, mental. We need to involve all that. And early intervention is important because it
This is the whole looking at the whole person, right?
yeah.
Look at the whole person.
Is that 50% of mental illnesses are diagnosed around the age of 14. Did you know that, Joe? Primary care doctors use the first to see. What do you do?
Go ahead.
They use the first to see the client, the first person. And then there's like clergy and there's pharmacists and stuff like that you can use. And some of the things that get in the way of integrated healthcare are poverty, lack of transportation, unemployment, communication problems. And they said that 1 in 7 people are in the poverty level or below.
Are these people with mental illness or just anybody?
Well, then poverty is definitely keeps people from accessing mental health.
Yes.
And that's why we have to do more outreach, like we do at the Record Street.
Yeah.
Like we do at Record Street, we go to where the people are to help them to access services. We still have trouble getting them to go to the hospital, but there are mental health services down on Record Street too.
Yeah.
Some.
There's also many cultural beliefs you have to deal with, because some cultures look at their mentally ill people as if they're gifted. They revere them. They're like special people.
Like the Indian culture.
Yeah, and then you get some cultures that
Native American.
Really don't look down on the mentally ill people and say that they're a waste of time and all that, and they don't treat them very well and stuff like that. And there's a terrible stigma because sometimes, like I said, sometimes they think you're treated by the you're possessed by Satan because you're mentally ill and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, who has something to say about stigma? For me, goes back to when I was working at the state government, and my boss found out I had been working on the state mental health plan of all things. And my boss found out that I was seeing a counselor, and she asked for my resignation just like that.
That's
So
stigma if I ever seen
it was
it.
very strong stigma, and so she was psychophobic. I think she was afraid that I hadn't been performing in my job as good as I should have, but the fact
still.
that. So what are the kinds of things? Does anybody else have any examples of stigma?
Well, I'd like to, at this point, mention the faith net thing that Joe and I went to.
Yeah, that's a good stigma buster, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, religion can be a source of stigma. You know, as Donna was just saying, some religious folks might see, mental illness as a, sign of the devil or something. So FaithNet is for people who are trying to work through their churches, working with their churches. We heard some wonderful testimony. One woman who her pastor had made some very disparaging public remarks about mental illness, and she was able to talk to him and help him to look at things in a different light, and so that they're working together now.
And so religion can be, or not religion, but spirituality can go coexist. And we had one
Very
of our
much
NAMI
so.
Northern Nevada members speak about spirituality at one of the groups too. So
Okay.
so the spirituality can go coexist with good mental health.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and it should be better because the whole part of healing is spiritual as well.
I'm a
Right.
very spiritual person,
Yeah, I'm too.
and I'm thankful for everything that happened in life. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a whole outlook. I mean, that's not only spiritual. That's not only religious. It's spiritual too, because it gets into the fact that we accept what's going on with us a lot better.
well, I had no problem accepting myself. It was getting other people to accept me was the problem.
Well, that's the thing about churches is churches can be tremendous supports for people. I was thinking how much the folks at the church that I attended while I was growing up really helped a lot, even though, interestingly enough, I go to a really progressive church, Unitarian Universalists, and they are actually very interested in stigma busting on a number of different levels, having to do with race, having to do with sexuality. But I don't recall ever hearing a program at the church about mental illness. It's kind of one of those last bastions that really needs to be talked about.
Doing their own voice for the.
Yeah, doing our own voice for churches
Yeah.
would be an excellent way to start. Other people suggest that just having health fairs at the church and including, mental illness as part of the things that.
Yeah. So you're treating the
help a
whole
lot.
person again, in
Yeah.
spiritual and
Yeah.
medical and physical, physical and mental all together.
Yeah,
The holistic approach.
A holistic.
yeah.
So, but now, Kathy, you went to a lot of the arts therapy and the arts stuff.
Oh, I did.
You went to some movies and then Donna
Yes.
and I both participated in the poetry
The
slam.
poetry, yeah.
So there was all kinds of stuff that we did there at the National Convention. It was kind of a circle for the arts as well because we got to see some comedians
Yeah.
that talked that expounded about comedy with regard to mental health.
Yeah.
Which is stuff that I've been doing for a long time. And it's so cool to see them do it too,
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there were some good ones. I taped some good ones too.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So, but
They were all the comedians were talking, using their struggles with mental health as part of their routines.
yeah,
And this guy who had trained them over the internet with Skype,
uh-huh.
and he was somebody who had mental health issues.
Yeah,
and
he
I
was
think
funny,
he had
too.
also been working in the field of mental health before he got sick, and so he's like has a lot of different angles on it, and that was very cool. And I loved the poetry. I loved. I saw 2 movies. There were 3, and one I had to miss because they were scheduled simultaneously. But there was one movie I particularly recommend looking for. It's called OC2, and my bipolar, major depression, Asperger's
is in there.
Yeah, there's a whole list of the
and
guys that
there's a whole list of diagnoses that this guy had.
This one guy.
And yet he was still, with his father's help, was still able to put together. He took film school, and he was still able to put together a movie about his mental health, which is very telling about his struggles with it. Right?
Oh, it was wonderful, and he's shown it in international film festivals as well as local film festivals in the United States. NAMI, specifically NAMI stuff, and there's just general film festivals. And it was